Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. Just a little heads up, I'm here in Florida. We are having some major thunderstorms and my power just surged. So if I cut out and lose you, you'll have to check me out on YouTube after the fact. Okay. So I received a lot of positive feedback from my show last week, with many of you asking me to continue to go further into details. Ask and you shall receive. So going forward, instead of taking a caller each week, I will do my best to share with you some deeper understandings of the spiritual war that has been raging for thousands of years between two separate factions of the dark energies, Team Satan, Lucifer, and the light energies, which is Team God, that will culminate with the ascension, which is the term used in the spiritual community, and harvest, or you may know it as harvest, which is the term used by God in the Bible. Basically, the war is over your soul and earth that God created, and most of it is being fought through technology, occult, rituals, sacrifices, psyops, possession, artificial intelligence, TV, film, and so much more. I will do my best to show you evidence so that you can further research and explore for yourselves these very uncomfortable truths. Intuitively, I feel we have a limited timeline to educate and wake humanity up to the truth before things really start getting weird. I mean, they're already weird, but they're going to get weirder. And I'd say we have about 3 years to get our acts together. I know many of you have questions. I welcome you emailing them to me at askrebeccatoday@gmail.com. Or you can ask them in the comments section of any of my social media posts. I will do my best to answer them on the next show. So I'm going to be speaking quickly because we got on air late, and I want to make sure that I'm able to cover everything. And if I'm not, well, then I'm not. So before I get into more details and do the weekly intuitive messages, I have a couple of admin notes. Last week, I told you about one of my clients, which, by the way, I would just like to say that I consider all of my clients and the people who find me as my family, my community, my friends. I deeply love and care about all of you. I do my best to support you in whatever way that I can, but I will not enable or sugarcoat things for you, and I will set boundaries. I strive to listen, support, guide, heal, and be the example, not just preach to you. However, I am just one person trying to support myself, my family, and all of you. So there may be times I have to nurture myself and find balance so that I can stay strong. Please do not feel like I'm ignoring or abandoning you if I can't respond to your texts or emails right away. I try to respond as quickly as I can. And I'd also like to add, I'm human. Don't put me on a pedestal. I'm your equal. I make mistakes and I don't always get things right. I do my best to interpret what I receive as accurately as possible. But this isn't science. This is spirit. This is energy that can change and shift based on your free will. God gave you free will, which can never be taken away from you unless you choose to give it up. So understand that any choice, no matter how insignificant you think it is, can completely change the trajectory of your life. All right, let me get back to my original point of what I was saying. As I mentioned last week, I would be starting a fundraiser for one of our own, Lauren. She is battling cervical cancer that has spread to her lymph nodes, bones, and surrounding areas. She is considered terminal. She's 34, you guys. She's 34 and has a 5-year-old son. She's a single parent. The dad is out of the picture. And she's currently in the hospital because of severe side effects from chemo, radiation, and other meds. She does have insurance, but there's a medication called Relestor that she desperately needs help with for digestive issues that's being caused by the cancer pressing on her digestive tract, plus side effects from all of the medications. Unfortunately, her insurance does not cover this prescription, and the out-of-pocket cost is around $600. She doesn't have a job and can't work due to the severity of her health. The goal is to raise a minimum of the $600 to cover the prescription and then raise some more for any future costs not covered by insurance. I understand not everyone can donate and no amount donated is too small. I would just ask, if you can't afford to donate, to share the fundraisers with others. The link to the fundraiser will be posted on all my social media posts and in the weekly email, so keep an eye out for that. Last admin note. Because I have such a strong desire to support those of you in my community and build a network of trusted individuals during these uncertain financial times, I would like to showcase those of you who have your own businesses or have a skill set that can support others in our community. Whether you are a real estate agent, hairstylist, manicurist, psychic, dog walker, plumber, handyman, nurse, doctor, chiropractor, or someone who's just willing to run errands, pick up groceries, help with yard work, babysit, clean, cook, you name it. I want to showcase you, and I want everyone to be able to make some money out of this that may be struggling finding a job right now or needs to make some extra money, or if you want to volunteer, that's cool too, and help those who are less fortunate. I want us to truly love and support each other. I want to build a network of trusted community members that are willing and able to support one another. So with that being said, if you would like to share your talents, skills, or expertise, please email me at AskRebeccaToday@gmail.com. I plan on doing a video interview so that you can share and highlight your talents. I'm requesting that we do video because I want people to see you, feel you, and they can experience you better. It's how we build trust. The video will be posted on my YouTube channel, social media, website, and emailed out to everyone on my email list. I will also put your logo, mini bio, and info under my partners page on my website so people can find you easily. I also welcome emails from those of you who need support with something so that I can match you with a person that is willing to help you. Now, let's get into this spiritual war that I've been talking about. You need to understand the bigger picture first in order to understand the smaller picture of what is happening now. I'm going to start at the very beginning. My goal is to explain this very, very complex situation in the simplest way that I'm capable of doing. I cannot get into every single detail, so this is a summary of what I feel is the most important for you to know. It will be your responsibility to seek truth and knowledge on your own, being guided through your own connection with God. It's your job to find your wisdom, right? To find the wisdom. Trust that you will be guided to exactly what you need to know and when. You are a sovereign being, and it's a big deal that you advocate for yourself. However, if you have questions afterwards, email me or post them on the comments section so that I can address them on the next show. Now remember, this is the big picture, and I'm sorry that I'm speaking really fast, but I want to cover everything. Well, not everything, but I want to make sure I get to the intuitive messages as well. So the big picture. I'm using the word God because I believe in the word of God, but feel free to substitute whatever term you feel most comfortable using, universe, divine, whatever it is. I'm also using the term him and he because it's easier than saying the energy or, spirit or those things. Okay, remember, this is a quick summary. In the beginning, God created the universe and the angels. He then created Earth, Adam, and then Eve. At some point, the angel, Lucifer's ego, gets out of control and he gets mad at God because he thinks he can do a better job. He wants to be the king and be in control. He then recruits other angels to his cause by pointing out the flaws of God's creations, like the fact that God created our souls to have an earthly experience. The fallen angels, Team Lucifer, basically were upset because they felt God gave us the same powers as angels because he created us with the opportunity to have high positions in heaven like the angels, but he gave us even more power in their eyes because we can procreate. So Lucifer, with the energy of Satan, which is just basically a negative energy, evil, if you will, seduced Eve in the Garden of Eden. She ate from the forbidden tree of knowledge, right? So she ate the forbidden fruit, which the way I intuit and interpret this is he seduced her with lust. It was all about sex, not procreation. That was the original sin of humanity. So Team Lucifer was cast out of heaven. The fallen angels, or Nephilim, I believe is the word that they use in the Bible, then basically created hell on earth and took over. The angels had sex with women, and which created hybrids. And then these bloodlines have been around for thousands of years, and they are the ones ruling the world. If you do some research, these fallen angels have reincarnated over and over again through any means necessary, including using alien factions, spreading evil far and wide through the guise of good. They believe they are special and we are scum. They believe in Luciferianism. However, God is the Most High and creator of everything, so he has allowed this to happen because of the original sin of Adam and Eve. Because God does not want to make the same mistake, allowing evil into the kingdom of heaven, we are being tested. We have free will thanks to God, and he is not here to force you to love him and appreciate him for creating your soul. It's your choice to do so and to choose how you treat yourself and others. During the time of harvest is when God separates those worthy to continue to the next steps required to go to heaven for eternity. That's the quick explanation, and hopefully I didn't butcher it too badly. What I want to really get into is the Luciferian Creed as explained by William Carr, based on documentation that was found during raids tied to some secret societies. And there's certain words that I can't say because I will get censored, so you'll need to search for answers yourself. I highly recommend that you read his book. His name is William Carr, and the book is called Satan, Prince of this World. And this book was written in the 1950s, and you can access it for free online. I want you to understand what the people in power believe and what the difference is between their beliefs and God's. So let me get into this, and I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible because I know we're running out of time. Okay, so where God requires a human being to prove it wishes to love and serve him voluntarily for eternity out of respect for his infinite perfections, Lucifer says, I will enslave the human race under a totalitarian dictatorship and deprive them of their physical and mental liberties, and so negate their ability to use their intellect and free will as God intended. And this is where some of these organizations that were created, including the one with the initials WHO. 2, where the commandments of God make perfectly clear what he considers sin, Luciferians and their agents teach the inversion of commandments of God. Pike, who you'll have to do some research on that guy, and other high priests of the Luciferian Creed state everything God has made known to be displeasing to him is pleasing to Lucifer. 3, God's plan for creation required everything to be made different. There are no two leaves exactly alike, no two snowflakes. The Luciferian ideology requires regimentation so that everything can be centralized and made as much alike as possible. Integration is the most typical example of this theory being put into practice. Integration does not mean simply that the public shall accept the principle that people of different races, colors, and creeds shall enjoy the same privileges and considerations as white people. Integration means to bring together parts so they form one whole. The Luciferian ideology requires that the human race be integrated absolutely so that all colors, creeds, and races will be mixed into one vast conglomeration of humanity without any distinctive features, cultures, racial traits, or other peculiarities. 4, God's plan requires that there shall be numerous worlds. The scriptures speak of the 7th heaven. They name the different choirs of angels, their nature, office, and characteristics. They tell us that even in each choir, every angel is higher or lower in scale than another. We are told it is possible for those in the lowest choirs to work their way up so they achieve higher status by merit or descend down the scale because of lack of merit. The Luciferian ideology requires that there shall be only 2 classes. 1, those who govern, i.e. the holders of the light, the super intelligent beings, and 2, those they enslave, where God permits, encourages, and rewards individual initiative. Luciferianism does not tolerate it in any shape or form. 5, God insists that in order to ensure perfect peace and happiness in heaven, every soul he selects has one of his elect must have proved that it honestly and sincerely, without qualification or revocation, desires to love and serve God voluntarily out of respect for his infinite perfections for all eternity. It is to produce proof of this desire that we human beings are being tested so thoroughly. God doesn't intend that there shall be a second revolt in heaven. Luciferianism, on the other hand, says that permanent peace shall be assured by the king despot exercising absolute despotism over his subject. The Luciferian protocol says the Luciferian totalitarian dictatorship, when established on this earth, will have its head a king despot whose will is to be enforced by satanic despotism. Okay, there are 8 more creeds that I don't have time to get into. So I will do another show on that. Maybe I'll do a separate YouTube video, so keep an eye out for that. Definitely go read the book. So many of your questions will be answered. This book is just one of thousands of resources to explore. I told you before, everything that evil does must be hidden in plain sight because God created you as a sovereign being with free will to choose. Now, I want to show you how every secret society uses symbology to communicate with each other in plain sight through symbology. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to do that, so I will do a separate video that I will load onto my YouTube channel. I'll have that posted by tomorrow as well. I'm going to skip ahead and get into this week's intuitive messages, just so that you guys kind of know what the energies are this week. Okay. This week, it goes from today, August 11th, through to August 18th. And here's what you can expect as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. General themes. As usual, we have some pretty erratic energies that will be causing an upheaval in one way or another, unless you've gotten to the point where you have completely mastered your thoughts, emotions, and triggers. You'll be affected in minor to major ways. First, you may be very impulsive. You might just overcommit yourself, overeat, overdrink. There's an energy of excess, so there could be extremes in behaviors, but just as quickly as this energy comes on, it fizzles out. And this includes projects or things that you've committed to. There's also forceful energies around that mixed with this impulsive energy that could bring about actions that could hurt your reputation, cause you to get into a verbal altercation, and potentially physical ones. Like I said last week, do not confront people or antagonize them or get into it with people. Losing your life to prove you are right or to defend a material item is not worth it. A week or two ago here in Orlando, a man tried to steal someone's truck from their house. They confronted him to try and stop him. He killed 2 people, injured another with a baseball bat. Do not fight over material items. These evil energies are no joke, people. They are powerful. Take people seriously. Okay, I feel like I'm just a bearer of bad news here, but the energies this week genuinely kind of suck. Delusion will be a big one too, and delusion means believing something that is false or sharing falsely. Remember, just because you believe something does not make it true. That's why it's so very important to seek truth and wisdom. Put your faith and trust in God. You can't go wrong. You can make mistakes. It's when you repeat them over and over and over again that's the problem. It's also when you choose not to repent, when you choose not to forgive yourself, when you choose not to forgive others, and when you're not seeking God's forgiveness. You could feel awkward this week, and you could end up having hurt feelings. Be honest with yourself about what's going on in your life, your head, your heart. Truth is bitter in the beginning, but it's sweet in the end, and the truth shall set you free. That is a very true statement. We do have some positive light here too, with blessings in many different ways. The biggest is from lessons you have learned, but you could see some money coming at you and more happiness. Lots of positive energy in love, with children, creativity, and talents. Things will feel like they're looking up, and you'll feel good depending on what's happening in your life right now. New beginnings for sure in many ways. There's an energy of partnership and balance, both in platonic and business relationships. It's a time to get things equal, communicate openly and kindly to have your needs met. Nothing changes without effort. Work, for those of you employed. Patience. Some of you could be stuck waiting on a decision. Some of you may have to explain your actions, or you'll be held accountable in some way for something that was or wasn't done. I do feel some promotions or change with job duties, so there is a lot of positive energy as well. Work, those of you that are looking for a job, same thing, patience. You might be waiting on a decision here too. Don't give up, and don't be too proud to do freelance work or take a job that isn't your wheelhouse. Times are changing and you need to change as well. Expand your skill set. Get out in your neighborhood. Ask if you can mow somebody's grass or help them out in some way. In the area of love, for those of you in committed relationships, feels like a great week for some of you, and some of you that have been hitting a rough patch, lately, I feel like that kind of smooths out and things are much, much better. Some of you are connecting on deeper, more intimate levels, so your connection is really, really strengthening. New beginnings for many in different ways in love. So I think that's wonderful. So, if you're trying to have a baby, maybe you get pregnant or maybe you get engaged, something like that. There's also a balancing out of responsibilities as long as you communicate. Those of you looking for love, I feel like some of you have unresolved emotional issues and you're holding on to that. And you're not looking at yourself, you're not doing the work, you're projecting blame, and it's holding you back. And you are not going to find love, not healthy love, not the kind that you really want, until you deal with it and empower yourself and love yourself and work through your own junk. I'm telling you, that's the only way that you're going to find the love that you want. Some of you also need to deal with desperation, neediness, and clinginess before you find true love as well. And lastly, for a few of you, I am feeling new relationships headed your way with the potential of meeting that person this week or within the next few weeks. It feels imminent. Finances, I feel some money coming in, feels like new money. Some of you are doing a side hustle. Some of you need to budget and manage your money, and some of you are in denial about your money issues. You need to work on resolving that, and some of you need to cut expenses. Health, emotions are going to be a big thing. Deal with your junk, like I said, and balancing your health, body, mind, spirit, nutrition, sleep, all that stuff. Spirituality, give back, pay it forward will likely be a theme for those living from the heart. Work on your spiritual connection with God. Practice through stillness and contemplation. Talk to God the way you do talk to people right in front of you. I talk to God every day, all day. I thank him for everything I experience, good or bad. I give him my problems. That's what he says to do. He says, let me take your burdens. We'll give it to him. Just talk to him. I know with every fiber of my being, God has my back always in all ways, even through the challenges. I know what they serve. I know the purposes of my challenges. So I'm wishing you all a great week. That wraps up the intuitive messages. Hit up my YouTube channel for the rest of the stuff about the Luciferianism. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.